Okay, in this video, I'm going to walk you through how to start and then be successful with the first multi-view drawing assignment, problem sheet front side. The directions using AutoCAD: create multi-view drawings for 1 through 20. Lay out the drawings using a standard size 8 title block. Create 4 equally sized viewports and lay out 4 drawings per sheet. You'll have 5 total. All views should be 1 to 2 scale. Plot the drawings and submit for grading. That'll be plotted to a PDF, and then the assignment is 60 points. Use videos for assistance. So there is a video here for helping you set up your viewports, and you'll actually find this video as well after I finish it there as well. So this is the rubric of what we're going to be looking for when we grade it, and here are the objects. These are the things that you're going to be making. So you go ahead and zoom in on these as much as I can here, and then I'll go ahead and actually zoom in on them a little more so we can get them, so we can see them pretty close here. So when looking at these objects, 1 through 20, start taking a look at them and see that they're all 5 inches in what will be the length. We'll just look at these first few here. They're all 2 inches in height, and then they're 3 inches in depth. That's going to allow us to be able to work in CAD pretty efficiently. So to start off here, we're going to go ahead and start with this first object. And I'm going to represent this as the front view here. So I'll start with this 5-inch line, and then we're going to go ahead and draw in the front view of the object. So jump over here into CAD, and I'm going to go ahead and try to minimize CAD here just a little bit so we can actually see both of these on the screen. So I'm just going to find some open space here. First off, go ahead and set up my construction or my object viz layer as my current layer, and I'm going to go ahead and draw a 5-inch line. So starting that off with a 5-inch line, then I'm going to come up. I'm going to come up 1 inch, and then come back across and frame in that front face. When I go ahead and do this, it's going to be a fairly simple process to set this up, and now I've got my front face all finished. Now I have to show this face that I will see in the front view, but it's going to be projected flat. I can't see that there is depth in this view for this part. So I'll go ahead and draw in the next set of lines, and now my front view is complete. I'll now go ahead and select my construction layer, make sure that's active, and now I need to space out my top and my right side view. So I'll go ahead and draw a 1-inch line and then draw a 1-inch line. That is the spacing for the next views. So I'll go back to my object viz, grab my line tool, and I'm going to start drawing this right side. So I'm looking at this part from the right. You can see that it's going to have a 3-inch line on the bottom. So I'm looking at this part as if it's just been turned, so I'll draw a 3-inch line. Then I want to draw a 2-inch vertical line to start to frame out the back of the object. And then I want to come forward here 2 inches, and then of course I'll come down 1, over 1, and then back to the starting point. What I want you to take note of is you can see the projection here in AutoCAD lining up with the front view. All views need to line up. So as I come down 1, start to come across again, this lines up as well. So you can see that there is a step and then back down to the starting point. Setting this up in this way then aligns the views and the objects correctly to see the features work out. So now I'm going to start the top view, and starting at this front corner from the top view, I'm going to then go ahead and draw a 5-inch horizontal line, and I will go ahead and trace in this, whoops, so there's a 1-inch line that actually needs to be a 5-inch line total, and then we'll then trace this out. This sets up this first step on the part. Now I'll go ahead and set up the top step. So we'll go ahead up 2, over 5, and then back down for the top step. This is setting up all of the views, front, right, and top for this object. Now, last thing that I like to do before I move on is I'm going to go ahead and set up some text on this part so I can then see and understand exactly where I am after I get all 20 of these drawn. So this is the rabbited block, and actually BBET, that's correct, and all this should actually be in a capital, so I'm going to go down to change case and jump it to uppercase. Now Fairly simple object, not very difficult to work through. But let's actually zoom over here. Let's go find something that's a little more difficult that involves some hidden lines. And we'll jump into this. Let's work with number 5 here. Go ahead and push number 5 over so we can work with some hidden lines. So that's number 1. And what I'll do is then go ahead and change up, grab my object viz line, and then I'll go ahead and let this align so I can see there's a little bit of order here, and then start drawing that front view again, 2, and then come back across 5, and then come back down. Now, I could go ahead and continue to draw this entire object. However, I'm just going to copy the object, because in CAD we have these wonderful tools. So I'm going to move this over and just make a copy of number 1, because all the sides are going to be the same. I'll double click into my text and immediately change the name to Groove Block. Oh, again, I did it. No caps. We'll go in and change this to uppercase. And now I want to change this view so it looks like the front, top, and right of number 5. This line would not exist. On the front view, I cannot see any other object here. From the top view, as I look down, I'm going to see 3 surfaces. One surface and this back second surface are going to be at the same plane. The notch that's running through the part would still be visible, but I would not see that it is further down in the view. So to create an accurate view drawing, I'm going to sit on the end point, mouse up slowly, type in 1 to move my starting point of my line, draw across the part, click, hit escape, and now I've represented the top view of number 5 correctly. This is a top surface, second top surface, and then this is the groove down below. Moving over to the right side view, I can see that it has a 3-inch line, 2-inch line, but then there's a notch in the middle of this part. So instead of redrawing the entire part, I'm going to go ahead and just stretch this line by 1 inch, and then grab my line tool, and I'm going to draw in a 1-inch line. Now I can take and shrink this line by pulling it back by 1 inch, and then add the additional geometry that is necessary to complete the notch. So I can see the notch. Now, the only thing missing is that in the front view, this notch still exists in the view, yet I can't see it. So this is where I would use my hidden lines, grabbing my hidden line tool, and I'm going to project, not draw a line, but project from one view over to the front view. So from right over to front, and draw in this hidden line representing the surface of the notch in the front view. Now, something that I have not done yet, but I'm going to go ahead and set up to show you the relationship, is I'm going to use my construction lines to frame out these views. By using these lines, you're going to see that as I draw across, the front lines up with the right, and the front lines up with the top. Everything aligns. Now, I'm going to turn on my line weights so you can see the object viz lines in bold. And from the corner of the view box, not necessarily the part itself, but from the corner of the view box, I'm going to go ahead and tab out and then draw a 45-degree line, where now if I select the top and draw to the 45, and then draw immediately straight down, the views will align. So we'll go ahead and start from the top to the 45, and then straight down, the views align. The middle object, we'll go ahead and just move my text out of the way here. This middle notch area, I will go ahead and do the same thing over and down, and you can see that that sets up a relationship between the views as well. Comes over and down. By doing this, you can see and you can better predict where objects will be and where they will be located in the multi-view drawing arena. So I hope this helps get you started on the objects 1 through 20 assignment. The assignment, as you move through, these objects get a little more tricky, but this is where you can take a look at your construction lines and use your construction lines to help you work through these objects.